Live, so just go ahead and welcome everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to this live broadcast. I got 200 million reasons to be excited today. That's what I'm saying. Yeesh. All right, cool. So we're just going to get it started here in a couple of moments. We just want to make sure that the connection is good. If you guys are tuning in already, just let us know that you guys can hear us. The broadcast looks like it is up and running on the page, so just go ahead and take that link and go ahead and hit share on your timeline. You got it, Rick?
And then share to my story or what?
On your timeline. Yes.
Yeah, so just share now.
Timeline. Neil, do the same. Eric, do the same. All right. Cool. Awesome. So just let me know when you guys are doing that. But yeah, just want to start off by saying thank you. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Eric, for joining us here on this amazing broadcast. We're super excited to, welcome you to the company, Eric. And before we even get started up on your story and everything else, I just want to, have our amazing business partner, Rick, say a couple of words and see some words of wisdom, my friend. What's going on in Rick's world?
No pressure. Neil, where are you? Neil, where are you right now physically?
Yes, I'm in my office here in Newport Beach, making some deals happen for Mr. Eric. It's where the magic happens right here.
Nice. So, for those of you listening in, we have this is what we call the young generation, as far as I'm concerned. Most of you, these are people your age, and I can tell you something that Neil is a rock star. We're not going to spend a lot of time on Neil today, but I wanted you to know that. Look at the view outside of his window. He's in Newport Beach, California. That's where most of the rock stars reside. Except, I do want to say that Mr. Leo Robles is not far from there, down in the Anaheim area, and
right
in his office. Notice the tuxedo jacket and the very, very nice shirt. We don't know what he's wearing below there, but he is in an office, so he must be presentable.
Yes, absolutely. You're totally right about that one.
Yeah. And then, of course, Eric, my recently discovered great friend, brother from another mother, much younger brother, even though I'm older than his dad probably. I've really grown to love this man, and I'm super excited about this opportunity to talk to him a little bit because he is the team leader for the #1 team in the Lake Havasu, Arizona area. And recently he made an overwhelmingly large decision for him because of his loyalties and friendships and his business in the past. He made a huge decision to bring his business over to eXp Realty and sort of collaborate and partner with eXp Realty in what he believes will change the trajectory of his business and, of course, the trajectory of his life. And we couldn't be more happy to be in business with a young man with this much success at such a young age, who's created amazing relationships and all over the United States and Canada, not just in Lake Havasu, because of what he's been able to do. And Eric, I tell you, I know I met you for the first time in Dallas, Texas, and I've been overwhelmed with how savvy you are, how you handle your personal relationships, the unity that your wife and I show, that your wife and you together show to the world. I mean, you're an example. So first and foremost, tell us a little bit about your story and welcome to Leo's amazing Facebook Live call.
Yay!
Rick, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. This group right here, Leo, Neil, obviously Rick, you guys have been instrumental in creating such a warm welcome that my team is beyond grateful for to eXp Realty. And we genuinely, all 12 of us, appreciate all of you at an extremely high level for all of your support, guidance, and education throughout this transition. It certainly was huge for us. So thank you all very much, and thank you for having me this morning.
Thank you.
How long have you been in real estate, Eric?
A little bit about, yeah. So I've actually I've been in real estate for total 8 years, but actually in sales for just under 6 years. So it hasn't been a super long time, but as far as the inception of our group, we started back in 2016. So going on our 6th year this January.
Nice. And that's amazing to accomplish as much as you have in such a short amount of time. If you feel comfortable, tell us a little bit about your team itself, what you guys have been able to create, what 2021 will look like for you in terms of production. Because let's be honest, we can talk about real estate companies all day long, But really, at the end of the day, we're doing our own production without regard to our real estate company. And you have already been established as a humongous producer and the #1 producing team in all of that area that you're in. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. So we're basically, I shouldn't really say basically, our group is comprised of some of the most talented, more so beyond talent, as far as the individuals that make up our team. The diversity is so incredible because we have top producing agents that, singularly would be some of the top producers by themselves. I mean, we don't just have, brand new agents. We're collectively comprised of some of the most talented individuals in our marketplace. Yeah. And when you look at, some of our agents, to shout some of them out, Lori Cotero, she's a single powerhouse producing agent that really has taken the team to enhance her already super successful business. You have a gentleman like Dennis Roberts, who is super, construction oriented and got into business with us because all of the new developments and new construction that our team represents, and fast newcomers like Priscilla Evans, Jennifer Martell, Chloe Martell, and our new agents coming in. It's just such an extreme collective powerhouse that we're super grateful to be in business with them. And we made this decision collectively with this. It wasn't a unilateral decision, and we talked about the move for quite some time, and specifically because I owed that to them and their families and their contribution to our team. And it was a no-brainer, after we spent a few months, going through the due diligence of the move. But we have a phenomenal team, and it takes every single one of us to do that 200 million and 400 units or whatever it is. So we have an incredible team.
Rockstar status, bro. Rockstar status, man. That is amazing. Congratulations on all your success and your team. I mean, you guys are truly amazing, man, at what you guys been able to do in such a small market in perspective, right? In Lake Havasu. And I think I really want people to connect with you at a higher level, man. Kind of like walk us through a little bit of like, your story, like how you walked into the business. And obviously, right now a lot of people are saying like, man, you're doing over 400 transactions. Like, how would that happen, right? So kind of if you can walk us through a little bit of like how it started, and obviously it looks massively different now, right?
So to be totally honest, the whole real estate game for me started back when I was 17 years old, bussing tables at a local restaurant here in Lake Havasu. It's called Barley Brothers Brewery. I had a very challenging childhood growing up. And for me, independence was essential to be able to survive. So I've actually lived in Lake Havasu City on my own since I was 16 years old. My parents were divorced. Dad lives in Southern California. Mom, Northern Arizona. I haven't really had too much interaction with them, the past decade. But nonetheless, working, a paycheck, money was required to be able to pay my rent and just to be able to survive. So I remember working at Barley Brothers, as a busboy, progressing to a server, progressing to a bartender, making my way through the ranks. And the restaurant was located in a mall, an indoor mall, if you will. And there was a shop right across the way from the restaurant called Steve-O's. And the gentleman's name was Steve, actually was a real estate agent. He had a beachwear shop kind of on the side, and he would, visit the store to check on it every so often during the week. And he noticed that I was working 6-7 days a week, sometimes double shifts. And he comes up into the restaurant and he says, "What are you doing with all your money?" And I said, "I'm paying my rent, paying my bills. I live on my own. There's no luxuries for me here." And he said, "You really ought to think about investing in real estate." I said, "Well, besides all of my bills, all the remaining monies goes into a savings account. And I'm saving, as much as I can, because I don't know what the future holds for me." He's like, "Well, how about this? Why don't you invest $20,000 with me in a spec home, and you'll get 10% on your money on top of that $20,000. And I said, "Well, I mean, is it guaranteed? How does it work?" He went through all the questions, made me feel comfortable. Mind you, I'm 18 years old at the time. So I take the leap of faith, invested $20,000, 6 months later, I get a check for $20,000 plus $2,000 on top, and I was hooked from there. So kind of a long-winded story, but literally a few years after that, I decided to get licensed, partnered up with a great group, and from there, we actually started our group, which is the Janicek and Gedalge group, and literally year over year, I remember our first year as a group, 37 million in sales. Then I think we progressed to just under 70, 120, 136. And now this year for 2021, we'll close out at probably just over 200 million. So basically it's bus boy to powerhouse real estate team.
And what's your average sale price, Eric?
What was that, Rick?
What's your average sale price?
Our average sales price is a little over $360,000.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. 37 to 70 to 120, 136 to over 200 million, man. I mean, that is amazing. Congratulations on everything you're doing, man.
Thank
See
you.
what that says, guys? That's over 540 transactions. That's amazing. That's just incredible.
I'm clapping virtually too. I'm over here clapping on Facebook as well.
What I said, I don't think, words just don't do it justice. The team, the collectiveness of the team has been the number one reason why we are at where we are today. But even more so than that, my wife, who moved to Lake Havasu just a little over 4 years ago, has taken on such a role that I never even thought was possible or that she would even be interested in. She is more than a chief of operations. She's literally she's seen, the 37 million year one, then to just over 70 and the climb over 100. She's been with me through beyond the thick and thin. She is so powerful to our team. And her name is Caitlin. She'll be at EXPCon next week. Everyone will get to see her and meet her, but she is a rock. She's my rock, and I would have lost my sanity 2.5 years ago without her.
Nice.
Yeah, she's amazing, man. Thank you so much for sharing.
I was gonna hop in and say that it's been amazing, and I've known Eric through that entire transition from before he got into real estate, and then through that process to watch this, metamorphosis, if you will, that's happened has been phenomenal to the point where, I'm so proud of him, not just on a friendship level, but he's fine-tuned his skills so well that he is number one in Lake Havasu for a reason. I personally use him for all my personal buys, sells, flips, everyone that I've come in contact with, in Orange County when they need a good, the best of the best when it comes to agents, as Eric will attest to. It's just a no-brainer that I refer to him because of the feedback that I keep getting from these buyers, from these sellers. Is just phenomenal, and that forces me to continue to share more. I think that's really what excites me is you look at those amazing numbers. It's a great thing for Eric and his team. I think it's even better. That's 500 families that lives were changed because of getting that perfect vacation home that they've always wanted in this beautiful resort town, or investors looking for that Airbnb to grow their portfolio. Sellers wanting to take their profits and maybe move to be closer to family, whatever someone's goals are. As we all know, there's so much tied to the real estate that either allows them to fulfill their dream in one way or another. And Eric and his team are helping people do that on such a massive, large scale. So I'm honored to watch that growth and to help be a part of it.
Yep. Absolutely. Well said, Mr. Neal. One of the things that I would also, I don't know if you guys have any other questions, but I have a question. It's like, okay, cool. You've absolutely been crushing it. You've stepped in, literally doubled your production year over year, right? Yeah. And I know that you shared with me that this decision, obviously, this was a collective decision that you and your team did. And I really appreciate that about your leadership, because you were looking at this opportunity, not only for yourself, but how it would impact everyone around you, which is tremendous, and that shows your leadership there. But I would just kind of figure that out, right? Like what you were doing was working. How did this obviously kind of understand that, but just share how you made this decision and what this decision meant for you and your team. And then I'll ask you the next question, but just go with that.
I'm really glad, Leo, that you brought that up, because it's so important to reiterate that for us. I mean, I think you'll find sometimes in the industry that agents decide to make a move, maybe because they need an excuse or they need a fresh start to a business that isn't necessarily thriving. And for us, that was 100% not the case. We were literally at the peak. We're still at the peak of our growth. And to make a move, people would, well, why would you try to fix something that's not broken? But for us, again, going back to our team, we're such collective entrepreneurs in the sense of we're always looking to take things to the next level. And for Lake Havasu, you know, we're going to sell 200 million this year. We might sell a little bit more next year. It might be a little less. We've wrung out the towel as far as production for Lake Havasu. So for us, it's what's next? How can we grow? How can we take things to the next level? And EXP is beyond a vessel of innovation and technology, but it really allows real estate serial entrepreneurs to thrive and work on achieving income streams beyond real estate sales. And for us, everyone on our group, knock on wood, again, is going to do exceptionally well this year in regards to sales, and there was nothing wrong with where we were at. This move was literally for us just striving to take things to the next level. And we can get more into that, but that was it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, very, very well articulated. So, and I guess what is that next level like vision? Like, what did you, as soon as you learned and understood that, you discussed it with your team? Like, what is made possible because of this transition? Like, what was, I guess, one thing that you're going to be really taking on, and where do you see yourself in the next couple of years?
Let's just start with the basics. One thing that's so unique, and Rick and we touched on it at the beginning of the call, but every member of our team is a producer. And EXP has a program which is called Icon Agent, to the point where if you sell a certain amount of real estate, we can get into those details, EXP is going to give you your entire cap back in the form of stock. And everyone here, they hear EXP and it's stock or this or that. Really immerse yourself and understand what that actually means for you as an agent, but also for your future. Commissions are right now. No one in real estate is really planning for their future. Maybe someone has a 401k set up. Maybe someone has a retirement this or something. This is real dollars that is being gifted back to you every single year in the form of stock, as long as you sell a certain amount of real estate, which 95% of my team will do. So for EXP, the cap is only $16,000 at 80/20. Once you hit that, you're at 100%. You pay in $5,000 in transaction fees after that. You get $16,000 back in stock. Do that times 5 years that we've been in real estate, you're approaching 6 figures in retirement stock option funds. So that's huge. I mean, literally, you look at it across the board times 12. I mean, that's a big number if everyone produces enough to hit that icon status. That's just one thing that we can get very detailed in.
Life-changing.
Yeah, that has been life-changing for me personally, Eric. It's one of my favorite subjects to discuss. You know, I'm ending my 5th year, and I've been icon all 5 years, and it's literally what it's done for me in terms of I had lost my entire retirement. Now I've got a nice retirement out there in the form of stock, whatever we decide to do with it. I had a call the other day about that saying, oh, is there vesting on that? I'm like, no, that's your money. It's your money, your commission money going towards buying your stock. You're just getting it at 10% under, so your money's making 10% instantly. And Eric, I'm so glad that you brought that point up, because for the number of people whose lives you've already changed, now you've introduced them all to something that will change their lives even further. So good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And, you know, even more so, like you look at a lot of these brokerages that are 93.7 or 85.15 or 90.10, you know, for life, like that never changes. And it blows me away, some of these agents that I know that are still at brokerages, that they're paying 15%, never ending. I mean, if you're selling 15 million a year and you're at 85-15, do the math. So, you know, for us, it's also, there's an opportunity for all of our agents, which most of our agents will be participating in. It's called the Agent Equity Program, which means that at every closing, the agent can elect to dedicate 1 to 5% of their commissions towards stock. And why I wrote in the article on EXP Life, I was chatting with Diane and I said, EXP is just so agent centric. They're agent first. The company, out of that percentage, they'll literally let a portion of those commissions be purchased at a 10% discount in the form of stock. So now you have your 16,000 coming in if you hit Icon. You have all of your agents accruing the purchase of EXP stock at a 10% discount. And if you do that times 30 transactions a year at an average purchase price of $350,000, now you're talking about really setting up your future with some serious bucks down the road. You never know what happens, a bad injury. You want to maybe buy your first vacation home and you don't want to tap into your funds that you're, getting here locally because maybe you're doing flips, maybe you're doing specs. This is future money. It's really helping the agent set themselves up for the future. There's so many different things that you can really get into, but just alone between the Agent Equity Program and the Icon Award is amazing. And I'm seeing some comments right now. If anyone has any questions on those, this panel is definitely the best group of 4 to answer. But Icon and Agent Equity Program, and we're still not even, we're not even halfway there as far as the EXP benefits. So.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. Very well said. Very well said, man. Well, any last questions, Rick, Neil, for Eric, or any last words? I mean, I definitely want to have this, be short and sweet, and I think it's been tremendously valuable. But Rick, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's important to mention that Eric has had in the past and still has to this day an incredible relationship with the same business partners he's had all along. And I think when people making a move from one brokerage to another is probably one of the most difficult decisions people can make, because they're thinking about the loyalties and the trust that they built where they are. And what I always remind people, and have for over 40 years in the industry, but certainly the last 30, is that you got to make a decision that's best for you and your family. And you really have to make sure you understand that would be the main reason why you made any decision. And then when you're relaying that with honesty, integrity, truth, and your foundation, then it's easy to say, we don't have to lose our friendship because of my business decision for me and my family. We don't have to lose what we built over many years in terms of relationship. Just know that I made a business decision that was best for me. And while it may affect you adversely, it was best for me. And those are sometimes tough conversations to have. And Eric, I want to tell you what I respect most about you and Caitlin was how you handled it and how you continue to maintain those relationships. So congratulations to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Rick, because it definitely was a struggle, and we did everything in our power to handle the transition with the utmost class, as well as sympathy and patience. And I think I've not one to too much, but we definitely excelled in handling that at a very high level. And I know that there's people out there that are also considering doing this, and it's a very, very, very challenging part of our industry is a transition like that, and it can be intimidating, it can be nerve-wracking. Definitely, just there's a way to handle certain things, and I definitely think that for anyone else out there that's thinking of making a transition like this, we could definitely, talk and also look at the support. Like people, like literally, this is my collaboration circle. Like this is my brokerage. Like people have asked, like, well, how's the support like during the transition? Like, how's your support just in general? What we've seen from the onboarding process to coaching call availability. Rick, your wife Casey, one of the top people in the entire company. Like that's just amazing that she would be willing to take 30 minutes out of her week, 1 to 2 times a week, just to help us, not even necessarily grow, but just to make sure we're okay. And what do you need from me this week? What can we work on? So the support has just been incredible, because it's not just office socialization, and people think like support in the office, like we're going to hang out, 6 of us are going to hang out in an office and gossip all afternoon. You know, like this is real business. This is real collaboration, and this is real support for those that are looking to grow and take things to the next level. And, you know, every brokerage, I think, tries to make a point that they've got the cutting edge piece of technology. To touch on that briefly, again, from the onboarding process to SkySlope to DigiSign, I've always been a Zip Forms DocuSigner. Just the platforms that they have at EXP, it really is not a shock to me now that being in the company as to why EXP prides itself on technology and innovation. Support has been phenomenal.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, man. Well, I just want to say congratulations once again to you, your amazing world-class team. I'm so excited to have partnered with you, and this is only the beginning, my friend. I'm looking forward to doing a 6-month recap, you know, to see where you guys are at, right? You guys are already off to a tremendous start. By the way, you're guy. I see all your sales on enclaves, man. You guys are on fire with your development, man. I mean, it's so exciting when I see all your posts. I'm like another one and another one, another one. So congratulations on everything you're doing, man. Thank you for being a yes to this is going to impact so many lives, right? And I know that you already see that, but it's really only the beginning. It really is only the beginning.
Appreciate that, Leo. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, any last words, gentlemen? Anything else that we want to say before we conclude this amazing interview today with Eric? We're good. Lisa, congrats. All right, guys, sounds good. We'll be tuning out. Thank you all for tuning in to the Facebook Live. If you have any questions for Eric, he's an open book. He's fully transparent. Feel free to reach out with him, connect them with on Facebook and Instagram. I'll drop his links as well, just so you guys get in contact. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Rick.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.